Hey everyone, it's John here from CNS Outdoors. Hey, we wanted to do a little bit of a bass fishing series here, and I want to kind of take you through the steps throughout the year. This first video is going to be on what to look for pre-spawn bass. I'm going to try to get some footage in too here for some smallmouth, but we're going to talk about largemouth here mainly, and the baits that I'm using. Stick around. I'm pretty sure you're really going to want to watch this as to what to look for and what we're catching. So if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. And now let's get on with this show. So one of the things you should look for in the spring are points. Fish are moving in and out of places. They'll stack up before they go into spawn. It's one of my favorite places to look, and the thing about points is they're all over, so you can run a pattern pretty darn easy. Boy, they're loaded in here. They are not very big, and I'm sure there's deeper water off to the side, but I wanted to make sure I worked every inch of this point. Make sure where they were on the outside, up on the flat, because this is a big sand flat. There we go. Got another one. Where there's little ones in the spring, there'll be big ones too. So don't overlook points, especially points that lead into spawning bays, canals. They'll have deep water channels, so there'll be fish laying all over. They'll be up shallow to feed, like these are right here, even though they're not very big. But somewhere in here there's a big one, so we'll continue to fish for them and see if we can find them. There's another fish. Usually these points, I find a channel, as you can see going forward. This will be a big spawning channel. Number one, it's shallower and gets a little protection, so the fish like it. And when I'm coming in off these points, like where we caught those fish earlier over there, that's shallow sand. Now I'm trying to fish the channel in the sand drop that's coming off and leading up into this channel. Yeah, I'm trying to catch a few bass, so they're around.
Yeah, there was a dad and two guys came through here when I left, and they got about a 3-pound bass that you guys were eating.
Oh yeah, there's a few. There we go. There we go. Got a fish on a Carolina rig right in the middle of the channel. Good fish. There we go. That's a decent fish. That's the kind we're looking for. Nice 2-pound fish. So to kind of go over what I've done is I've gone up into the channel now, and these fish that were on the points will be moving into these channels. Everybody beats the bank. What I like to do is come out here, Carolina rig, crankbait, jerkbait, and I fish the middles. And I seem to catch a little better fish. And there was one already hit me. There we go, got him. Oh, another good fish. Another good fish. This is better than the last one. Another good fish. Oh yeah, definitely. There we go. There's a 3-pounder all day. Get us away. So again, the channel's leading up and in. Wow, what a beautiful fish. 3 pounds right there. So there you go. Find these channels, side channels that'll warm up, and these fish are going to spawn. And yeah, you're going to find them on the points when they first start coming in, and then as you get going, look inside the channel. And everybody wants to get that bank, but the really big girls are going to lay deep in that channel waiting to see what happens. As you can see, this has got sand leading up, so you got a good sand drop. That to me is key in the spring, is those sand drops leading in and out. Another good fish. So right there tells you, be looking into the channel. Look at that. That's the kind of fish we're looking for. Another 3-pound fish. Right there. The main baits I use during the spring when it's pre-spawn is going to be that DT6. I love fire craw. Not the only color crankbait I use, but that DT6 is awesome. When I'm going for a little deeper, like on the sand drops, I use a Carolina rig, and that's just a oh, see if I can see it. No. I like to use a Carolina rig. This one has a beaver on it. On the wood, I use a jig and craw imitation. I really like that. When I got a little bit of wind, it's a jerk bait. Can't beat a jerk bait up shallow and in the wind. Then I got for deep weed lines, I use a 1/2 ounce rattle trap, and then up shallow, I like to use the old swim jig with a minnow tail on it. Now I will use a grub too. I don't have one out, but I do like a lead head with a grub as well. Get him! Get him! That's awesome. That was fun.
How they biting for you?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Finally warmed up, so they moved up here.
Yeah, they're just starting.
Yep.
I was here a couple days ago, and I had one.
Really?
That was it. But there was a lot of guys that were coming in here.
Yeah.
Hang on 1 second, Kev. Hang on.
Flash this thing in down by your house. And
Yep, hang on.
Yep.
So next thing you want to look for is the rocks. As you can see, I'm pulling one in right now. They want to find those rocks where it's a little bit warmer, stumps in those channels that I was talking about. So look for that kind of stuff.
what are you throwing?
So we got a fish on. Sorry I couldn't show you that there. I hit my off button, but even though it's not big, I came off that wood. If you can see it quite a ways over. And this is shallow here, this bank, and just that little bit of wood held that fish. And here in a few weeks, that's where the big ones are going to move up. Right now it's these small bucks that are moving up, but they're looking for the wood that holds heat, rocks, things of that nature. And I showed you how the big girls will lay in the channels waiting to move up when the time is right. So make sure you're hitting that kind of cover, something that's going to hold heat. As you can see how shallow it is, I'm stirring up mud with my trolling motor. Oh, I just lost it. Nope, I still got her. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, she's a good one too. Thought I lost her, folks. Another nice fish. Look at that. Big old fat female. Look at that. Another dandy. Let that one go. So I moved locations, and what I've done is I am looking for channels now. I've established that the bigger fish are in the channels itself. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of rock all along here. Well, at one time this was all dredged out, so there's a depression right here. And once again, your smaller males are going to be up on the rocks, and these big females are hanging out on these ditches, these depressions. And so that's what I kind of key on. Once I find where the bigger girls are at, I try to stay with that. And it's just a matter of time before they move up onto these rocks here and sand, to do their thing, to spawn. But just remember that. Go to where you see dredges, or where there was a dredge. Look for the rock on the shoreline, the stumps, and go right off the edge of it. What I'm using here is a Carolina rig, and I've caught some fish on a crankbait and a twister tail. Just things that I can fish a little bit deeper if I want. Now the smaller fish have been coming on a swim jig in 1 foot to 3 foot of water. Everything that's bigger has been out farther. I moved out to a channel with a deep weed line. Yeah, I got a northern here, which is not uncommon to find them on these deep weed lines. I don't want to lose my $12 bait, so we're going to try to land this boy. When you find big northerns, you're going to find big bass, generally. When it comes to this. And that's a nice northern right there. So the deep weed line's not producing here, but I will tell you that anytime you can find these deep weed lines, I don't know if you saw that big old carp jumping, but these deep weed lines produce some pretty good fish, and it's one of my go-to patterns in the early spring right after ice out. But I think because I'm finding these fish in these channels leading up to spawning areas, that these deep weed line fish are not out here like they probably were a couple weeks ago. The northerns are here because they're spawning and getting post spawn, so then they move out to these deep edges too. But never fail to check deep weed lines on a lake or a river system that's got some backwaters with a dredge area and a good weed line. we go. This feels like a good one. So what I've done is I've gone to a deep water point here. Big sand drop. Oh yeah, this is what we want, people. This is what we want. When you're looking for bass, these are the ones. Look at this sow. Look at this. Wow. Look at that. That is what we're looking for. That is what we are looking for. Oh, what a beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. But I'll tell you what, that's a dandy. I've caught a lot of big fish in my life, and I'm going to say that one's probably a good 4+. I'm going to let that one go up here. So kind of in hindsight here, I went to a big deep point here. It's a sand drop point, and it's got a few weeds on it, and these fish are going to be moving. This is a big spawning ground here, and they'll be moving into the back end at some point. So all these girls are sitting out on these channels and deep sandbar drops right now. The small bucks are the ones that are up and in. So I hope you enjoyed that video, learned a little bit. Like I said, I'm gonna make this a series here about bass fishing and where to look. I'm gonna go through each stage that they're going through, from pre-spawn like I am now, to spawn, to post-spawn, summer, early fall patterns, and then your fall pattern. And with that said, again, I really hope you enjoyed this. And until next time, tie lines and shoot straight, everyone. Thanks for watching.